name is Krista Pettit. I'm founder and executive director of Haven Ministries. 14 years ago, I was in a worship service at Kent Island United Methodist Church, and I really felt a call from God to start a homeless shelter. And I did what a lot of people do. I said no, and I didn't do anything with that call. And that was really something that would never leave my heart and almost seemed like a burden for quite a long time. So I really cried out to God one day because I was really tired of that feeling of needing to do something and realizing I didn't know how to do it. And I really felt that God directed me to call other churches. So I told God, I'm going to prove you wrong. I'm going to call churches because they don't work together. And I started calling the churches, and every church I called said yes. And that's how Haven Ministries started. And from there, we put together plans for the homeless shelter. And then it grew from there to include the food pantry, the thrift store, and the resource center, and so on. Haven Ministries is hope. It's hope through shelter, food, clothing, and support. What we do is we represent Christ to people through practical means of shelter at our homeless shelter, food at our food pantry, clothing and household items at our thrift store, and help and connection to services at our resource center. And we connect them to Christ. Haven Ministries is all about hope.
My name is Caroline Allen. I'm currently the president of the board of Haven Ministries. Haven Ministries is here for our community, for Queen Anne's County and for the residents in Queen Anne's County who just need that assistance. I think people need to also know that those folks who use our services are people that are just like you and I. Bad things have happened and put them in a very difficult situation, and they're really just looking for hope, and they're looking for help, and we're here to provide that.
My name is Mia Cranford, and I am the Director of Marketing for Haven Ministries. I do all of the fundraising. I started with Haven Ministry on the day of its inception from my friend Krista Pettit, who is our Executive Director, who pulled me into a meeting of the very first one. She explained about the homeless on Kent Island and in Queen Anne's County, and just as a regular person did not realize that there was so much homelessness in this county. And I think it's awful in this day and age at 2018 for anybody to have to sleep outside or not be able to afford a place to live.
So supporting Haven Ministries, we can always use people's prayers. We can use their presence, and we need people to show up at our different programs and volunteer to be the hands and feet of Christ.
Haven Ministries is just a wonderful thing. For one thing, it's one of the places in our county which is very ecumenical. All the churches are involved in that. Sometimes we stick together across denominational lines, but our work with Haven Ministries really helps us to learn to get to know people from other churches, as well as people who may not have a church affiliation, but just want to do some good in the world.
I am Edwin Gibbs. I'm a case manager here at Haven Ministries. I provide case management for walk-ins and people from the shelter, which means I link them to resources for whatever their needs are. I also facilitate empowerment workshops for the clients at the A.F. Whitsett Center, which is a rehab in Chestertown, Maryland. Once a month, they bring a van load down and we go over some different tools of recovery.
And we also need monetary contributions because it takes money to run all of these programs, to staff the programs, to get the materials. And so those are practical ways that people can help.
I'm Liz Mazzell, and I've been with Haven Ministries for about 13 years now. It's always been a prayer of mine to see all the churches in the area work together. So I was thrilled to work with them. I've worked at the shelter, I've organized laundry, I've organized meals for the church for a week. And again, when they brought up the idea of the thrift store, I'd worked in retail before in my life and in sales, and I just thought it was a great idea. I've been blessed to be here.
You know, if I could really tell people about Haven Ministries, that we're so intentional about what we do. Everything that we do has a purpose, and the purpose is to always point people back to Christ. So everything we do, whether it's just handing out something or sitting down and listening to someone's story or trying to connect them to services, it's to make sure that their relationship is restored and that they know about Jesus and they know that there is hope and that there is a God who loves them. And that really is what we do. We're very purposeful with that intention.